My dear friends, my students, scholars, and all the distinguished guests, you will see that an idea which sometimes people don't believe, but if we are making our research, this is the magic of research and science, that if we keep continuing our work, our hard work, and with our passion we continue on our research theory, then definitely that small idea is converted into a conceptual framework, and then by the conceptual framework, it comes to a real picture. So the thing comes to change. So I wish all the students, all the participants, that go ahead in your research, because in today's education, education is no way now limited to just a book knowledge. Education is not limited to just a curriculum. Curriculum is basically one of the ways that what to understand, what to go through with the essential minimum qualifications. So apart from those essential curriculum activities, you should know and you should go beyond those activities. But before going to beyond those activities, it is important that first of all, we should at least complete successfully with clear understanding that what exactly is our curriculum. Once the curriculum is completed successfully, we should spend more time on research, because now the education is learning based on the problem, learning based on projects, learning based on case studies, learning based on real life simulation projects. So something more when you go in your learning beyond keyboard books, go to reference books. And not only reference books, I would suggest that all of you become the member of some professional bodies of your interest. Once you become the member of a professional body, you get so many benefits. Like what is that you get announcements and invitations for attending so many free webinars, seminars around the world. Today, we are sitting here in Kampala, but if you are a member of a professional body, you will get invites from Belgium, from New York, from any part, Canada, any part of the world. If you are a member of that any professional body, you can attend even without going. If you want to go there, you go apply there that yes, I'm interested to attend. They will give you an invite letter, you will get the visa, and you can go travel around the world. You can meet with the scientists of different areas physically, face to face, with that membership of professional body. Even some people, if they feel that okay, I don't want to go, but I still want to attend, then they have a number of webinars which you may attend here by sitting in Kampala also. You may have the access to their library. My dear, these days you will find library, especially if we are considering in the area of science and technology. Sometimes some books may be very, very expensive. I have seen some books which are more than $100 or $200, even $5,000. Those expensive books of any area of science and technology, including medical science, what you can do, if you are a member of a professional body, they allow you to access their library, e-library, and physical library also. Like in your engineering, one is very renowned body is IEEE, another is IED, that is the Institute of Engineering and Technology. Then IMACI, which is Institute of Mechanical Engineering, ABEC. So there are a number of institutions which offer you to become a member, and they also don't have so much of high fees. You will find that once you become that, I'm not here actually to promote any professional body, any one professional body. What I mean to say is, anybody which you feel in your area of research, but become a part, associated with them, so you will know the world. Tomorrow, if you are engaged with any project, any research work, and there, if you want to get an opinion of international community, you will be connected with thousands of expert people in that area. So you just write a post on the professional bodies portal that I am engaged with this activity, how you can assist me. You will see that you will receive help, solutions, ideas around the world, and people will help you that what you can do further. So I would only request you all, insist you that go beyond your boundaries, because mind doesn't know boundaries. Air doesn't know boundaries. Sunlight don't go with the boundaries. it is all of you that how you can enhance the limit. You can beyond, you can go now, you have internet. The fiber optic is one of the examples of life, the International Day which we are celebrating today. So use the fiber optics, that is the internet power. That is now available every home, even in the pocket. You can use that in your mobile phone in your pocket. So just you can use your mobile phone, click the buttons, and everything is available to you. So I wish you all the best. Do everything in your area, whatever the best you can do. Always enhance your limits, because mind doesn't know limits. It is only what we consider that I cannot do more than this, mind stops there. If you think I want to jump from a wall of 7 feet, if today you think I cannot, but if there is some emergency, you will jump from 7 feet. Tomorrow you can jump from 10 feet also. So it is only the mind limitation. Actually, there are no limitations. The whole global platform is available to you. So I wish you all the best in today's workshop, that you take the optimum, maximum advantage of this workshop. Be an active participant in this workshop, and for all your future endeavors, happy learning. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was such an inspirational speech, Doctor. And I was almost inspired to become an engineering student already. Because like from the start, as he brought it out, that the idea came from a man, and people didn't believe him. People didn't believe. Just like you have ideas that you want to bring to the light of the world, and sometimes you might be tasked to prove it to other people. So I hope you listen to him carefully and go for what he was saying, that your dream can be true any day.
One thing more, my friend, I would like to add one point more, which I forgot to tell you, that soon we will be going on another workshop for research. Because anything what we are celebrating, the workshop, there is a basic difference between a workshop and seminar. The difference is, in seminar, all people just listen and you can have talk also. But in a workshop, you go and do the things by yourself, so that you get actual learning in a workshop. So what we will do, that soon we will announce another more workshop on research, where you will find how you can enhance, without spending money, your research capabilities. Without spending money, I'm saying, you can do international publications. You can print your papers, your books, your chapters, your volumes in international publications without spending a single shilling. I guarantee you. Only thing is, you need to come up with good research paper and the articles and the contents. Those should be not copied. It should be the original ideas. And then we will conduct a workshop that how you can make your research original, authentic, and more useful, so that it will be published on international journals without spending a single penny or single shilling. I guarantee you. So that workshop soon also we will allow. We will definitely go through on that. So all the best for today.
Still so inspirational. I wish I could hear a bigger clap from you guys. That's so inspirational. Thank you. At this juncture, allow me to welcome one of the most vigorous leaders of this institution, one that's always on the spot in planning for the best for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, together let's welcome our own, the Vice Chancellor of this very institute, this very university, Dr. Professor K.M. Mayhew. A big welcome.
Good morning to all of you. Director Academic Affairs, Dr. Pradeep Kumar. Dean, Faculty of Information and Technology, Dr. Tyagi. Coordinator, Electronic and Communication Engineering course, Mr. Mayur Kumar Chippa. Mr. Manjesh Thomas, Mohammad Shamim, and the technical team who are supporting this team. and distinguished delegates from various universities who have come, and my dear students of Ismat University. I once again welcome you all on behalf of our chairman, Mr. Varghese Mundamatam, and all faculty, staff, and students of Ismat University. I once again welcome you all for this workshop on the International Day of Life. Dr. Pradeep Kumar has already introduced the importance of International Day of Life. I will not repeat. I thank you for such an elaborate talk on the topics. And I also congratulate our head FICP, Dr. Kathy and Mr. Mayur, and the team of the Faculty of the Department of Engineering for organizing this workshop, hands-on workshop. As Dr. Pradeep Kumar has said, there is a difference between seminar and workshop. So this workshop, after few minutes, the team from Chief Executive Officer Liquid Intelligent Technologies, Mr. Dennis Handy, will be coming here. I welcome him also. Then Mr. Joseph Nikani and team Liquid Intelligence Technologies, they are coming with their team to give you hands-on experience. I also welcome Mr. Isaba Baird, Chair, IEEE Uganda section. He is also likely to be here within a few minutes. As you all are aware, Ismat University has collaborated with IEEE Chapter Uganda, and we are celebrating this day of International Day of Life for the last couple of years every year. And this day, we allow our students as well as the students and those who are keen to attend these things from various other universities. I have seen we have the students from Internatioanl University, Uganda Institute of Information and Communication Technology. Then we have students from Cavendish University, Chambaga University, then Uganda Institute of Information and Communication Technology, and various nearby universities and institutions. I am extremely glad that all of you have taken time off from your busy schedule and came to attend this thing. As far as knowledge is concerned, it has to be shared. And I am thankful that our Director Academic has told you we will be conducting a periodical workshop for not only for our students, for the youth of Uganda to benefit from our facilities and our international experience faculties. Ismat University is one of the state-of-the-art university located in Kampala, and we have faculties, internationally experienced faculties. We have the state-of-the-art lab and infrastructure, as you have seen. We don't want to restrict that facilities or knowledge only to the students of this university, and we are conducting such workshop and inviting various students from various other universities also. I am grateful to the department and Director Academic for organizing such activities. Now, as far as Ismat University is concerned, you know, during the pandemic time when the institutions across the globe was closed, we continued our academic activities uninterruptedly due to our technical advantage. Our faculties were very quick to switch over to the ERP system and uploaded all the lecture notes and videos for the benefit of the students. The students were able to access our lecture notes and videos anywhere in the world of 24/7. And some of the students know there was a challenge of data, accessibility to get data. But our management was kind enough to provide free data to our students to access these academic activities. And our students were lucky that they did not lose any semester and they graduated after completing the course in the year 2020 and in 2021. Thank our management for all the support given to us. And I also thank our deans and faculties for working hard to fulfill the aspirations of the students. And as far as the new normal situation is today, there is a paradigm shift in the higher education sector. As Dr. Pradeep Kumar has said, there is no boundary for the knowledge sharing. So, the knowledge which is available in any part of the corner should be available to our students and youth in Kampala. And our faculties are here to do the research and enhance your technical knowledge. Not only theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge. So our university's aim is to create a thinking mind in you. Our aim is not to create only the degree holders. We want, instead of job seekers, we want our students to be job creators. So your practical knowledge is sufficient. Think and create job for others instead of you asking job from others. You know, Uganda is having around 70% of population under the age of 10. So everyone has to think how to create job. And we can create only by exploring the technical feasibilities, technical facilities available here. And I am sure with the such workshop, you will enhance your technical capabilities and add on to your knowledge. So I once again congratulate all the organizers and the administrative team of university for providing such facilities. And I also thank Liquid Intelligence Technologies for collaborating with us. I thank the IEEE team of Uganda chapter for collaborating with us for the benefit of the students and all those delegates who have come here. I wish you best wishes. May God bless you to benefit of this forthcoming workshop. Thank you very much. All the best.
I'm always delighted to hear from our Vice Chancellor because he's such an energetic man, and you've heard from his welcome. He really wishes you the best here. At this very juncture, I would love to welcome with us the Dean of ICT Faculty, the one and only Dr. Chabi, for a few remarks as we proceed. A huge welcome for him, please.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Director Academics, Dr. Pradeep sir, DC Engineering Coordinator, Mr. Mayur Kumar, my colleagues from Faculty of Engineering, Mr. Peter and Mr. Emilio Christopher, and my dear students, I would like to welcome all of you to celebrate this International Day of Light today, along with the workshop on optical fiber technology. The day we are going to celebrate, not only we have an interesting talk with the CEO of Liquid Telecom, Mr. Dennis, who is going to present about the latest optical fiber technologies as a keynote speaker. Another thing, along with that, we are going to learn the practical aspects of the different optical fiber kits, in which you are going to cover about optical network design, splicing and OTDRs, optical loss testing, optical connectors, fiber misalignment measurement, cable preparation for terminations. So all these things you are going to learn today with a complete hands-on, with the industrially trained trainers, so that you can have all the queries, whatever you have in your mind about the optical fibers, the splicing and other network establishment. You can simply ask them, and you will get a 100% solution for all your queries. So this type of workshop not only will enhance your knowledge, but it will create a base for further for your internship. If you are going to attend the internship in future in the liquid telecom, so already you have some base, and with that base, you are going to have one step ahead. If you are going as a layman, you don't have the knowledge about the basic equipments, it will take certain time to come up to that level. Now you are well prepared for your internship. Along with that, we are going to request Mr. Dennis, once he will be arrived, to have some kind of collaboration with our university to take our students as a permanent employee and give them a chance for internship. So once it should be done, then it will be a great thing as the part of your placement. One more thing we are going to request Mr. Dennis, that like we have the workforce in form of our bright engineering students. So if they are going to provide us some modules to work for our students, especially on the Saturdays or some days, so our students, they are very eager and they are very keen to work over the modules. So we can provide something extra without any kind of support in terms of money or something, just to learn. So if this thing will be possible, we will request him, Mr. Dennis, he is around. So a warm welcome to you, sir, on the desk. So now after that, I would finally like to welcome all of our guests, our Vice Chancellor, sir, and Director Academic, sir, to motivate us, to encourage us to organize such events, and the SWAT management also, which is very supportive for organizing and motivating for such kind of events, not only today as well as in future as well. Okay, thank you so much and wish you a happy learning today. I hope that you are going to get something tangible today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I already saw some colleagues we are trying to discuss already. I don't know whether they were already getting into the engineering energy, but I love that they were listening well. So, ladies and gentlemen, what he said just gave you all that you're going to get today. And I saw the guys already getting excited, but the clapping wasn't so exciting to me. So, do you mind if I have a bigger one? Because today is the International Day for Lights, we have our own participating in the organization of the event or the workshop. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, allow me welcome the EC Engineering and Workshop Coordinator, Mr. Mayur Chipa Kumar to the stage to take us through.
Thank you so much, MC. And before we start, we already have our chief guest, Mr. Dennis Kahindi, the CEO of Liquid Technologies. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director Academic, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, to welcome our chief guest, please. So thank you so much, sir, for being with us. And yes, so I welcome you all at ISBET University. I'm called Mayur Kumar Chipa. I'm engineering coordinator here. And Thank you so much to the IEEE Day of Light, and thankful to the Liquid Telecom for kind support to us, to giving us our strengths and hands-on experience. Thank you once again. Now, when we send this invitation to all the participants to participate for the workshop, they asked us why International Day of Light? Why is it today on 16th May? Like, it's already a Monday. Why can't you do it on like Saturday? You know, like why Monday is a working day for us? But guys, there is a specific role why it is on 16th May itself and why it is being celebrated worldwide. So I'm just take a few 5 minutes of time to just let you know more about why International Day of Light on today, 16th May. So I'll be talking to you about, first of all, it's all, not only about like 2022, it all started by 2015 as International Year of Light. And then it all started like, you know, why it's on 16th May that we're going to discuss, and some motivation towards the workshop, and then we'll welcome Mr. Dennis for making a presentation, and then we'll go for the hands-on workshop experience. So why this International Year of Light and why the light-based technologies in 2015? So the International Year of Light of 2015 was proclaimed at United Nations General Assembly in December 2013. And under this leadership of UNESCO, the International Year of Light 2015 brought together the hundreds of national and international partners to raise awareness of the importance of the light, science and technology in the areas such as sustainable development, energy, education, climate change, and health. 2015 had over 13,000 events took place with an impact that reached 147 countries. So yes, maybe 2015 we may not have celebrated in Uganda, but now after 2019 onwards, every year we are celebrating this in Uganda as well. So this was a diversity event, was remarkable around the world. And that was why you can see here, this is International Year of Light 2015 openings by UNESCO. So this is what you can see here, this was done, right? But again, why 2015? Why not 2014? Why not 2015, 16, 2020? Why is it like that? Why only 2015? So yes, guys, there is specific role of why 2015 because the great works on optics by Ibn al-Haytham over 1,000 years ago. And this was the first noted works in optics before 1,000 years ago. It's not like before 1,000 years we were not looking at the light and all. The first reported work on a book, he has written around 7 different books on optics by an Arab scientist, Ibn al-Haytham. That is why you can see, guys, that is why we are here to celebrate. One more thing, there's a movie released on it by International Year of Light celebration and tribute to this Ibn al-Haytham held at United Nations in the New York also. And this movie has been created on this because this was the first person who reported in his books about the physics of light, like, you know, how we can see something like that. Next. One more thing, why 2015 again? So you know about the Fresnel theory of light as a wave? Yes, he was a French engineer and the scientist who contributed significantly to the establishment of the wave theory, and this was around 200 years of his research, what he did in 1815. When you look at the Maxwell described this history, the theory of light in 1865, it was 150th years of anniversary of celebrating this International Day of Light. Next slide. We talk about 2015 marked the 100th anniversary of Albert Einstein, the theory of relativity. That was the direct academics talked about, like Einstein. Yes, this theory took around 100 years of anniversary, and that's why we are all here to celebrate. And it was celebrated on 2015. One more thing. There's 2 scientists, the American astronomers, Aaron Vandrias and Robert Woodrow, announced the discovery of cosmic microwave background, CMB rays and radiations, and it was the 50th anniversary of their research work. So it's not like just we are talking about just this, like why 2015? So there are very many reasons came around the research in optics and that's why it came on International Year of Light. Next. One more thing, I think most of us, our generation people, know this person called the Charles Cow, who developed optical fiber communications in 1965, and it was 50th anniversary of his work, what he's done, and that's why we all around here, like we talk about optical fiber technology these days, we're talking about the broadband, we're talking about FTTH, fiber to the home. Yes, this all came from him. He was the first person who designed the fibers. And you know, it's not that easy to talk about today. Like today, our Mr. Charles is also here from Liquid Telecom. He will be showing you different kind of optical fibers, cutting the fiber, splicing the fibers, calculating the losses of the fibers. But earlier days of starting, it was not that so easy to create the optical fibers. But that the person is here, the Charles Cow, who designed the optical fibers. That's what the world today, we're connecting throughout the world with optical fiber cables. So, and again, why 16th May today? 16th May is an anniversary of the day of the first laser operation in 1960 by Theodore H. Mayman, a physicist at Health Research Laboratories in Malibu, California. And as an ending follow-up, the UNESCO General Assembly on 14th November 2017 declared the date 16th May as a permanent and annual International Day of Light celebration around the world. That is why we are here. So then you must be saying UNESCO is only talking about the light, only talking about the optical communication? No, there are very many places. So it's all about the science, the field of astronomy, biology, chemistry, physics, photonics, optics. Not only about the technology of the science, about the lighting, design, architecture, cities, energies. Everywhere we need the lights. Culture in the form of art, music, poetry, history, philosophy, also in the form of development, education, energy, climate change, light poverty. So light is not only about one domain, it's in very many areas, and that's why the UNESCO has taken as sustainable development goals in the 17 different areas to be developed in a few years. And one of them is about the optics communication. That is what we're talking about today at ISBET University. I'll just take another 2 minutes for you. Let's talk about the photonics research. Okay, you must be saying, okay, you are celebrating this International Day of Light at ISBET, but are you really doing some research work here? Or are you just celebrating, or you also do some work? Yes, guys. So as a faculty, I also do some research on photonics research. I talked about on photonic devices for optical communication. As you can see here, optical waveguides, optical ring resonators, optical filters, optical bands, where you can find instead of optical fibers, such kind of periodic structures can be created where the light can propagate, and optical logic gates as well. Some more slides as optical couplers, optical filters, optical splitters, and optical switches. So there are some basic optical devices where we are also working on. So some universities who are here, yes, they can also collaborate with us, and we can also do some collaborative research work as well on this. Yes, now the motivation towards this workshop. You see the slide. It was just prepared with my very own, friend from India, and she designed such a way that we are celebrating this International Day of Light 2020, and still the COVID is looking at us from outside. You know, the entire world is impacted with the COVID-19, but still in 2020 we celebrated. Even we made it online, we made it virtual through the Zoom. We made it, but still we did it. That is the motivation towards the doctor. We should, like, what we get from this motivation, that we should not stop. Then again, the year the 2021, again the slide is here. It gives me an impact. Still it wasn't closed. We are not moving out, but still it gives me this slide as you are stronger than you think. Means whichever, if you want to do something, we just need a motivation to do that thing, and that's what we learned from this COVID also. Like, we should not get stopped doing our research work or our studies or wherever we are. We should just keep on continuing learning, and we should keep on moving. Next slide, please. And again, the different hashtags are here: Light Day 2020, Light IGL 2020, hashtag IEEE, hashtag Photonics, for a big salute to our Corona warriors. And they are the one who defended us, and that's why we all are here today. Like, we got vaccination, we meet with doctors, so many things happened around the world. We put masks, we wash the hands. I don't know in last 2 years how many times I've washed my hands, but yes, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times in a day. Just sanitizing, washing, sanitizing. I don't know what happened, but it's okay. things have been improved in last 2 years, and definitely we have support from the doctor, police, nurses, all of us were there for us to make us safe. And that's why we all are here today in physical to celebrate this day. Next slide, please. And that's what you can say again. Today, only about is bet. We are celebrating International Day of Light. Around 147 countries. You can see the yellow dots are there. There are around 147 countries around the world are celebrating. Not only in Africa, Europe, Asia, Europe. Everywhere we are celebrating this International Day of Light. But you can find in Uganda. Yes, today we are here to celebrate International Day of Light. It's in the form of hands-on workshop on optical fiber technology to celebrate this International Day of Light. And with the last slide, I talk about the photonics allow us to manipulate the light in a ways that have not been possible here. And that's why we're talking about optical fiber communication technology everywhere. And that is what you can see. The beautiful Kampala city of Uganda is illuminating light all around. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us. Now I welcome our own Mr. Dennis Kahinis, sir, for making presentation, and then we'll go for the hands-on workshop. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with us. Thank you once again. Really thankful to you all. Thank you so much.
Before we are inviting our own respected guest, I would definitely call him Professor Dennis. The way he takes the thing from the beginning, he had made history. There is no doubt that how he has taken up all the challenges, not into the one business, but also he has taken up challenges to train people. He has taken into operations, risk management, planning, costing, everywhere. How the lay is leading by example. He is the man who has taken up all the challenges, and just like the wind comes, like a person says, let the wind come, I will handle them. He is the man, Professor Dennis. Everything he has handled, he is always giving training people. He is making them capable to be in a good competition. He has taken a lot of things for his employees and changing their future by his own things, his intellectual personality. So definitely, I request to all of you, always be now ready to note down his words of wisdom, because whatever he says, that becomes actually a path for all the other people to do. Because what he has done, he has created, he has shown the way. He's a great researcher, and definitely lots of people follow him. So I will invite humbly our Professor Dennis to share with his words of wisdom. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Good morning. How are you today? Okay, thank you so much. So my name is Dennis. Dennis Kahindi. I have the privilege of speaking before academia. It's one of those very exciting things for me when you have to sit and listen to a very humble song. My history with ISPAT, I've actually had a very personal connection to the ISPAT University around 2001, 2002, 2010, 2011. I enrolled into ISPAT. And the timing for my enrollment wasn't perfect. Then I enrolled to have to take a master's degree in telecommunication engineering. Then we're still seated down the other side of the Entebbe Road. I don't know whether you still have a campus there. Or you have a campus there. So that's where I went, and I did quite a number of classes. Unfortunately for me, it was a very disruptive time of my life. That was the time when Microsoft requested me to go and manage their business in Rwanda and in Uganda, but I had to be based out of Namibia, sitting in Nairobi, working in Uganda and Rwanda. That's how complicated it was. So I dropped the course then, and very regrettably, I should have managed to complete it at some point, but did not do it. I pursued other career obligations, which unfortunately couldn't be where I am. A little bit about myself. I currently lead a team of very resilient ladies and gentlemen at a company called Liquid Intelligent Technologies. Previously, that company has been around for over 22 years. In 22 years, there's been an evolution of names from Infocom. I don't know how many of you have heard of Infocom, Chauvans. Okay, then it evolved into Liquid Telecom. How many of you have heard of Liquid Telecom? Great. And then it has now evolved into Liquid Intelligent Technologies. How many of you have heard of Liquid Intelligent Technologies? Great. So that has been the evolution. The reason why I think our conversation today is very important is really the DNA of that is the history of Liquid Telecom or Liquid Intelligent Technologies. Oh, you're not hearing me well, okay? I know my voice sometimes projects beyond the microphone, so I was comfortable that you could hear me. But yeah, so the genesis of us as a company was in the fiber optic space. The vision of our chairman, Mr. Strive Masiyiwa, was always to have the whole of Africa connected via fiber optic cable. We undertook to build close to 100,000 kilometers of fiber. There is no single company on the African continent that has a more extensive reach of fiber infrastructure across the continent. So our initial fiber, and I will show that in my presentation in a short while, our initial vision was to have our fiber infrastructure run from Cape Town to Cairo. That was achieved. Our next vision was to have our fiber infrastructure run from Addis Ababa to Dakar. So not only did we go from south to north, we also managed to move from east to west. And this is all enabled by fiber technologies. There is no single technology outside of fiber optic that can enable you to drive the kind of data that we are driving on the African continent. And that's why maybe the partnership between ISPAT and Liquid comes in very handy. The story between Liquid and ISPAT started about a year and a half ago as well. Was the keynote speaker at a function, I believe it was a Golden Tulip. The function must have been organized by either NITA or UCC or one of those. I was a speaker at one of those, I don't remember. I get to be called so often, sometimes you forget. And Mr. Mayo reached out to me and said, we need some kind of collaboration. We need some kind of partnership. My vision has always been leadership calls on us to hold others, to help them grow. Any opportunity to grow, especially for a student, is an opportunity to progress a nation. And I made it very clear to him right from the start that this has always been my aspiration. This has always been my desire that we get into partnerships such as these to drive next generation of engineers, the next generation of scientists, the next generation of ICT experts ahead. And that's where we started out the conversation. We took in a few students for internship. I hope they're doing well. I haven't received a report from them. And we continue to explore other areas of this kind of partnership. And I think it has grown to a level where we are now going to have our technicians, some of our technical team demonstrate to you the actual working of the technology, the fiber technology. They will demonstrate to you how the medium works. They will demonstrate to you how signals move from point A to point B. What you will see here is a skeletal presentation of what we do as a business. Now we have our fiber running all the way from Malaba, the eastern part of Uganda, to Gatuna. That's the one that we are in control. But when that fiber is down at any one point, not only is Uganda suffering, Congo is suffering, Rwanda is suffering. There is usually a total blackout. 3 weeks into my role, and this is a very live example, we had what we call a double cut. Now, a double cut will happen in a situation where you have a resilience on a fiber infrastructure. They'll probably show you a bit of resilience there that we have. If we're all going to point A will, and that's how our business is structured. We will try to get to point A through route Y and route X, all going to point A. So that if route Y is broken, route X continues to carry traffic. Because of the very important nature of Uganda, Uganda is a hub. Uganda is a hub to Rwanda. Uganda is a hub to Southern Sudan. Uganda is a hub to Congo. So when the fiber infrastructure in Uganda has cuts, the magnitude of business that is affected is very, very large. Liquid, as a Pan-African fiber infrastructure provider, knows very well of how important this is. So we've created resilience across board. But that is on the high level. You might question, how does that then affect me? How does that, as a student here, how does that fiber affect you? For the longest time, Liquid Intelligent Technologies was the biggest wholesale provider for internet services here. Now, if you're driving wholesale, I learned 20 gig of internet traffic in this country. There is no other company in this country which has more traffic, more internet traffic than Liquid. All this fiber, all this comes through fiber. If there is a cut, then there is a problem. Recently, for those of you who use telecommunication services over the last 2 weeks, you must have seen a bit of disruption on how the service is on the internet across board, not just Liquid. The reason that is happening is we are having a very major player coming into the country in Google. So Google is trying to get onto Uganda's internet exchange point. A very good thing, which means internet speeds are going to improve in this country. We're going to host quite a bit of data here, but that's caused us a bit of disruption. So the internet service experience has not been very, very good over the last 2 weeks. But again, goes back to how important fiber is. There is no way you can drive anything above a gig of traffic without fiber infrastructure. Now, for fiber infrastructure, you don't just need it to drive high traffic. You need to have low latencies and great experience. The majority of our customers in this country sit on wireless infrastructure. The desire of us as a business is to transit from the current wireless infrastructure to what we call fiber to the X. We call it FTTX. Now, FTTX is fiber to the X. Now, that X can be a home, that X can be a pop, that X can be a site, that X can be a small and medium office. So it's fiber to the X. It's a strategy that we are driving. The 700 kilometers of fiber, we have 1,400 kilometers of fiber, if I didn't say, in this country. The 700 kilometers of this fiber are in Kampala. Now, 700 kilometers of fiber in Kampala looks like a lot, but it's very little. We cannot, at this point, deliver fiber infrastructure everywhere because it's very expensive to drive fiber. That cable is very, very expensive. But not only is it very expensive, the manpower and the logistics around driving it to your home, driving it to your small and medium office, driving it to your large enterprise, driving it to your school, your university, the logistics are very complicated. But we as a business, we have decided and continue to drive this clear vision that we will every single year drives so much in terms of how many homes we have passed. Let's get to this, because this really the keynote is, when I was invited to make this keynote, and they told me it's around optical fiber technology. It's a celebration of the International Day of Light. In industry, we don't ordinarily celebrate technical days. In industry, naturally, we don't usually celebrate technical day. Not because we have anything against it, but because it just doesn't register. We're chasing the next dollar, we're chasing the next shilling. Yeah. So the celebration of the International Day of Light is something that is very welcome. We want to be a part of this story with you going forward. If and when you decide to invite us, we will at least make industry look and recenter and say, by the way, our business is our business, largely because of this International Day of Light. So we will be, and we will appreciate being a part of this going forward. So let me go back to my keynote address. If you could just roll the slides. It's a fiber network presentation. I'll start with where our fiber runs. So our fiber runs, like I told you earlier, from Cape Town. Our initial landing point is Cape Town, and we go all the way to Cairo. We split our network into a northern, a central, and a southern corridor. Naturally, Uganda and East Africa and the Congo, which is, I think, the biggest concentration of fiber right now, at least the liquid intelligent technologies fiber, we sit in the central corridor. So we operate in about 14 countries. Only in Africa, so we are a pan-African business. We operate only in Africa. You might have read over the last week that we acquired a company called Terrat Networks. It is a company based out of Israel. Liquid acquired it in the course of last week. That's a story that I will talk to you about shortly. But one of the reasons why we acquired that, it allows us, one, to get our vast European experience, to land into Europe, but also to land into Southern America, where the liquid has never operated. We've only operated in Africa, in those 14 African countries. Our head offices are in the UK, though they're not operational offices. We have offices in Mauritius, South Africa, Zimbabwe, where our dream came out of Zimbabwe. Our chairman, Mr. Striver Siwa, is Zimbabwean, so that's where the dream came. We operate in Zambia, operate in Kenya, Rwanda, for obvious reasons, Uganda, Botswana, DRC, Egypt, Tanzania, South Sudan, and in the Western Africa, we are operating in Lagos, Nigeria. Since the first shovel hit the ground to start our fiber story, we have run 100,000 kilometers of fiber on the African continent. For you to have a good appreciation of it, look at it this way. The whole of Uganda, the fiber infrastructure in the whole of Uganda is under 10,000 kilometers. Does that give you context? When we say we have 100,000 kilometers of fiber, so the amount of fiber that we have collectively, I'm talking MTN, I'm talking Airtel, Liquid, Simbanet, I don't know, Gilad, talk about any fiber provider, including Nita, your neighbors here. The amount of fiber we have is just above or under 10,000 kilometers of fiber, the whole country. Liquid's contribution to that is maybe about 10% of it, or maybe 40% of it. Africa-wide, we have 100,000 kilometers of fiber. What that then means is if you have an operation, like quite a number of our clients do, if you have an operation in Cape Town, and you are on the Liquid network, and you have operations in Kampala, in Nairobi, in Kigali, in Juba, in Addis Ababa, in Cairo, the fiber optic network that we have, the African continent, makes it feel like you are on the local area network. A It makes it feel like you're sending an email from this 7th floor to the 5th floor. That's how amazing it is. For you to understand the context of that 100,000 kilometers of fiber, that the latency of delivering data from Uganda to Cape Town is under 100 milliseconds. That is how important the International Day of Light is. So we have customers who have international presence, customers such as Stanbic Bank and Absa Bank, who require for us to treat them as though they are on a single network. And there is no other player on the African continent who can do it for them outside of Liquid. Let's get on to the next slide. I'm trying to dial it back home. So let's talk about why is the fiber important? The fiber is important because it enables us to drive data traffic. Drive data traffic on the African continent. There are a couple of cables that are coming into the African continent. Interestingly, Liquid is a shareholder in quite a number of them. We have our own, but we are also a shareholder. And the reason why we have our own and we also are a shareholder in the others is because of the topic, the sentiment that I shared earlier around resilience. That the world today cannot afford to live without internet services for whatever reason. That's why you will see there is about 5 cables coming in. East Africa's connection to the rest of the world. We are connected through undersea fiber optic cable. That is the East African submarine cable, which you call EASY, and the TIMS and PEACE. Liquid is a shareholder to all 3. In all 3, we are a shareholder. But also as Liquid, we have our own undersea cable, optic cable, that is the East African submarine cable, which you call EASY, but these and the TIMS and PEACE to the rest of the world. Liquid is a shareholder to all 3. In all 3, we are a shareholder. But also as Liquid, we have our own undersea cable. We commissioned the East African submarine cable, which is called EASY, but these and the TIMS and PEACE to the rest of the world. Liquid is a shareholder to all 3. In all 3, we are shareholders. But also as Liquid, we have our own undersea cable. We have commissioned the East African submarine cable, which is called EASY, but these and the TIMS and PEACE to the rest of the world. Liquid is a shareholder to all 3. By all 3, we are shareholders. We have lots of protection on the fiber infrastructure. Recently, we have commissioned the East African to the other side of the world. We have practically all the way to Mombasa. We have lots of protection on the fiber Nairobi through Mombasa. We have Nairobi through Bungoma. And let's try to show you here the resilience. Only we build fiber infrastructure and data traffic through 2 routes from the western side. Those 2 routes are Nairobi via Bungoma to Toronto, and then we have Nairobi via Naivasha to Toronto. Has there been a chance where we had double cut in the sharing where we had some one things that happen? But it happened. The last time we had a double cut in Uganda, when there was a terrorist attack at Chador, unfortunately over 100. That was the first time that we had a double cut. Why did we have a double cut? Because we needed fiber to UDTCL lines, those high fiber, that's the surface weight of, because no one can touch that cable, no one can climb back to the rope that cable. So that's a very safe place. And then we also have fiber running underground. On that unfortunate day, when the bomb blast went off, unfortunately for us, the Uganda Electricity Transmission substation is right there in Chador. And our fiber cable that arrived home is also always underground there around Chador. So when the bombs went off, they disrupted that and they disrupted our fiber optic infrastructure. For the first time in 13 years, we had a fiber internet blackout in this country. We had totally off because of a double cut. go to the next slide. We talked about why we're talking about fiber infrastructure on the back market. Wherever there is a back market, there has to be a metro. Otherwise, you're moving all over the place. So we have lots of metros along the way, and I'll just skip it to the Uganda. Now, in Uganda, we have a metro which I told you about, just 700 kilometers in Kampala. You have a metro in every single town that we go through. Otherwise, you have a metro in Malaba, it's about 22 kilometers. You have a metro in Jinja, it's about 40 kilometers. You have a metro in Mukono, about 17 kilometers. Metro in Kampala, 700 kilometers. Metro in Masaka, about 18 kilometers. Metro in Barara, about another 40 kilometers. Metro in Tanzania, about 12 kilometers. Now, the metros then allow us to deliver that fiber to the X. Remember the FTTX? Now, the metro allows us. So we build these metros to service our end user customers. Metros enable us to service those end user customers. Recently, Metro in Tanzania had a structure of that model a little bit because we're seeing customers such as the teleco companies coming to us and saying, we cannot afford the spectrum that we require to be able to transmit signals from different sites. Any of you, I'm trying to look around to see if I can find any of those old school drums which used to be on towers. Do you remember those big drums that used to be on towers? We require, they look like a drum. Yeah, they're transmission drums really. Yeah, but they used to be on old towers. Now, trying to look around to see if I can. The reason they had to be there is because to have signal transmission. Telecos have now come back to us and say, can you enable us? We need fiber. Can you enable us transmit our signals much better if you have strong metro networks? So they do not need those big drums anymore. All they need is fiber to the tower. We call it FTTT.
very big hand to the CEO founder of AIT. Thank you so much. Professor, yes, at this very moment, let us go to the next. My dear students, very big hand to the CEO founder of AIT.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, still the International Day for Light celebration. And I'm so glad and pleased, and I know you are too, for all the great details that you delivered. Thinking of optical fiber technology covering the entire Africa, meaning that our data are going to be supersonic speed, that's a great thing. It's so inspirational to know that all these things are happening in Africa and being led by Pan-African leaders. And that excites me and makes me want to say a big thank you to our Vice Chancellor again for making this possible. Ladies and gentlemen, as you already said, Mr. Dennis already made mention that we are going to go through all the details, and his team is getting very, very ready to give you a great demonstration of what optical fiber technology could possibly do. And that's why we're all here. And I know you're all waiting to see that very moment. And without wasting no time, I know the team is getting ready for the presentation of the tools and fiber and all these great things. So at this very moment, as we wait for them to come on stage and do their demonstration, yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the team to take us through that beautiful technology, the fiber optical. Is it fiber optical or optical fiber technology? I don't know what it is right now, but I'm pretty sure that by the end of that demonstration, each and every other person here shall have that clear vision or clear view of what it is. I'm so excited to dig down into this stuff. So let me just welcome the team to do the beautiful thing they do always. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, good morning all. Yeah, my name is Charles Sepagara from Liquid Telecom. With my colleague here, Gerard, we are going to take you through the hands-on session. As my CEO has explained to you, Liquid Telecom network basically runs on fiber, that is optical fiber cable. So it runs all the way from Malabar, that's border to border, from Malabar to Tororo, then here in Kampala, then it heads to Western up to Katuna, where we do the handover to our sister company, Liquid Intelligent Rwanda. So from the sea, as you had explained, that we have fiber cables landing at the coast. So it's handled by our sister company, Liquid Intelligent Kenya, transports it up to Malabar border. We pick it from there to Kampala. Then we take it to Katuna. Then we hand over to Rwanda side. At the same time, we are working on another line which we are taking to Congo. So that is the project which is currently going on. Yeah. As we celebrate the Light Day, or we celebrate light. Most of us, we may look at light giving us this normal light where giving us that light which we see here. But in technology, we have light as an important tool in transmitting signals. So here we talk of fiber cable, optical fiber cable. We have to understand this, that of course we have to first ask ourselves, what is fiber optic? But I assume all of us, we know that here. Who have come in here, you have already done that. We just go straight on what? Hands-on session. We get our fiber. We have several types of fiber. So we look at two, the most commonly used fiber. We have the single mode fiber and the multi-mode fiber. Single mode fiber is used in transporting or transmission over long distances. And multi-mode is for shorter distances. We normally use multi-mode within buildings, doesn't even go out of buildings. This is basically less than a kilometer if you are looking at using multi-mode fiber. But single mode fiber, we run this fiber for 1,000 kilometers. Though in between, we set up kind of amplifiers or boosters to boost the signal. Of course, when you transmit your signal 100 kilometers, it weakens. But there are some points where you create, we call them nodes, but they depend on different vendors. But these are boosters or amplifiers. They amplify your signal, then it continues. So you may ask, how does it come from the border to Kampala, then you continue? No. We have some areas, some locations where we create repeaters to boost the signal. And for Liquid's case, we have that fiber from Tororo. Of course, our first node in Kampala here, the first booster in Uganda is at Tororo. Our sister company, the last one, the other side is at Bungoma. So between Bungoma and Tororo is around 60 to 70 kilometers. So there was a need of amplifying that signal. So we do that. Our first step is at Tororo. We bring it to Ginger. That is almost 120 kilometers fiber distance. From Ginger, it lands here in Kampala. So when fiber lands here, we have a technical term we use, FTTH. At times it's home, but we have fiber to the hub. In this case, we have a hub in Kampala here. Most of people call it the data centers or the convergence center. In this case, we have ours here at DMK House, though we have a protection in another location, that is at Statistics House. So we kind of do that setup of what redundancy or the result which my CEO had talked about. So when fiber lands in Kampala, it lands in the hub. So that's where we are going to start from, because now there we have different cables going to different directions within Kampala here. We may look at the FTTH fiber to the home, FTTB fiber to the building, fiber to the premises. That's our main hub. With a protection of what we have here, it's a duplicate, which we have on the other what? On the other side. So we are going to look at our single mode fiber, which transmits signals over long distances. We said multi-mode just gives us less than a kilometer if you wish to use it. But for long distances, we have the single mode fiber. This one can give you, it depends on the vendor, the repeater you're using. Some have those repeaters which repeat or amplifies after 150 kilometers. But in this case for us, ours, it's below 150, 120. Those are for transmission. Here in Kampala, we still use the single mode fiber to transport our signals, transmit the signals from our hub to the sites, fiber to the home, fiber to the premises. Fiber to the premises, it could be Isbat University here. We bring that fiber here. So, I don't know how I don't know how we are going to arrange this, because I don't think all of you can be seeing what will happen here. But I think I had agreed on having a certain number. You come here, and then we do whatever we have to do here. So when my fiber comes in, we have the termination box. This one, we call it an ODF, optical distribution frame. Lands into here. And also on end B, it can be on point A, point B. Both of them, you need your termination boxes. These are ODFs, optical distribution. So, okay, sorry for the interruption. So when our fiber lands into an ODF, we have, where's my password? So here we are going to look at when I'm working on a link through a fiber. Of course, in fiber we have it's transported into it's a two-way traffic, to and from. So there's transmission going to one core, then I have my receive. We have this component here. We call it an SFP, but it's a transceiver, 2-in-1. This generates our light. Of course, the unit, the node in there, it says electrical. They are encoded, electrical, encoded into light. Then this does our transmit point. It transmits the light. And also does receive. It has two. If you look at it, it's in and out. Those of you who will come here will have a look at it. So my fiber is spliced. We call it splicing or joining. You could say joining, but our technical term is splicing. And we use a machine called a fusion splicer. Fusion splicing machine, which we use to join our fibers. Of course, in here, when my cable comes in here into this box, it's spliced or joined onto other accessory here. We call it a pigtail. I assume all these terms which are mentioned, we okay with them. I'm not confusing you, maybe. So a pigtail is spliced onto the main fiber, joined onto the main fiber. It gives us our input into our SFP, and still this SFP is the one we plug into our equipment, the powered equipment. So the same time it receives, then it sends back. It transmits back, the signal to point what? Point B. So here we are going to look at, that is the first step. The fiber comes in here. We're going to look at how it's being spliced, terminated onto this box. Then in between, we have fiber moving from point A to point B. What happens? Of course, I assume that my fiber is already installed, laid into the ground. We have two types where we can install fiber. We have underground and we have overhead. The overhead is the one you are seeing on poles. Underground, we do a trenching, we dig underground, then we put our subducts. These subducts are used to help our fiber. Though, still we have another type, which is called armored fiber, for which you can lay it without going to the what? Into going to this duct. But in this case, of course, it's very expensive. Of course, we look at putting it into, it runs through a subduct, then it runs to point B. In this case, let me open it here. That's it. That's it. You can cut it. So we assume that our the fiber line already exists. What happens if we have any problem with the fiber? It's damaged, it's cut, maliciously damaged, or sabotage, you know, our business. We are like co-wives. You may get a certain competitor. He hires someone, he comes, he digs down or whatever, and then he cuts it. So what happens when you have a certain issue? Of course, from point A to point B, you can detect that my fiber is now cut. It's down. If we can't have that monitored, of course, the client will do it. The end user will complain back to us. I don't have internet here, so we do checks. So among the checks we run out, our first item we pull out is an OTDR. Our OTDR helps us to detect the faults on what? On fiber. The machine they designed to help us detect faults, cuts on what? On our fiber cable. It's a reflectometer. Optical time domain reflectometer. It sends pulses, light pulses, they get back, then they report back to you. My fiber stops at this distance. That's when we can detect that we have that what? We have a fault on, we have a cut on fiber, and then we send in a team to go and rectify. Yeah. So I think we should be having teams coming here now. We start on how fiber lands into the ODF, how it's spliced into the ODF, optical distribution, and how it's repaired.
For purposes of convenience, because we are having a recording going through, so we shall go row-wise. We shall move from this other side. So let me have this first row come through. You pass from there, then you're going to be around here and no blocking the camera.
Of course, we are going to start with the cable preparation. You have your cable there, you start preparing.
Each tune having 12 hours at you. So this is 6 cubes having 12 in the times that is 45. That is a fiber optic cable. This is number 1. Then there is this one. That's number 2 of a 48-hour cable. So there are 48 hours inside. Then there's this one, a drop cable. We call it a drop cable. The one that goes to usually uses to core. The sleep and possible. So, any question in that? You want to check? Let me start the floor. To the movement from the cluster.
Maybe what I didn't mention was, you see that fiber there, it's glass. It's glass. Our light travels through glass. Yeah? And there's that assumption that light has to travel through a what? Through a straight line. But in fiber optic, we have a principle which says it's internal total internal reflection. So signals bounce off, they bounce off. That's why you see even if it's spoiled, your light can travel.
This core cable. It is very easy last use during the building entries and everything. So this is the fiber that we are going to splice inside. We are going to terminate in the patch panel. So this is our OBF. So we plug in our 8 days or 6, it depends on the ground, the capacity of the client needs. We normally use like the traffic and the so-called. So this is it now. So we bring our fiber. Someone still back. So we pass the outside area. Comes in with the deep work cable. Then you make sure it's very easy. So you need to because we are going to so we have our 2 cores here. We're going to place them and you see how we're going to read. We have this is a spacing protector. Okay. So this is it. We are going to use 2 of them. Yeah. Put one here, like this, another one, like that, right? Then we get our fiber. Bring our spacing machine. This is our spacing machine. No. This one is the joiners. The joint with the fiber. So this will be. Besides that, we need to have a trigger. So bring our stripper here. Alcohol. It's alcohol. This is our formula. The strip. Yes. So this is the formula. This is the formula. So we chop it using our cleaver. Have a better angle. Lift the bits first. Okay, open our machine. Good. Although clean, make it so clean. Avoid losses. So first one, this one. So they are trying to is important. Checking happiness. So you do. Bring us here, near us. Now it is one. Then you open. See? So it's going now. Then you bring us to see here in between. Yeah. You open the heat fan chamber. You bring it to the heat fan chamber. Okay. That's it. So it gives alarm. As you are preparing the second one. Not everywhere, even in the cages, if that cable is checked, it's the same machine, everywhere is the same machine. Roll. So it's roll. My cocoa was. So this is one now. Fiber. Detail. Check our own. It's so that's it. Then it can go. But this is SC OC. This is SC is patch. This one goes. See? Yeah. Then this one's. So this one. The same stuff in the end with which functioning and the end. Yeah. It is the same story. Yeah, it's the same story. No, they are not different. These ones, they are like cores. These cores, they are labeled according to their color. Have core 1, 2, 3, 4. So this yellow is core number 1. This one is core number 2. So we have blue as our first core, orange as second core, green as third core, brown as fourth core, red, white, then red, the seventh one, black, yellow, 9, pink, 10, colorless, we call it colorless. This is the last core, the colorless core. Light source, you want the light source. So that is another procedure goes on among these. So the light source stuff, right now we can't light you. So this one, is true. And you want to be just come with your machine and this game. It is called a game course. You know, your cables, put the this with them, right again. Then this Python stuff. So after space, you are all codes. This is now. You put them. No, like in the maintenance, this is used in the maintenance stuff. This is a code in case the cable is checked. Understand? You pull a slug, or a slug, if not, don't have battery reserve cable, you put another piece of cable into this, put the both side and side. Have the cables reconnected. So this one, I'm having my cable running right? Then, of course, these guys, maybe women guys, or national guys, or road constructors, they come to check my cable, right? So if they check my cable, on this side it is moving, and this side is moving. And I don't have any reserve cable around there. We have mountains where we get this cable slab. You understand? In case of any damage, you just pull that reserve cable. When I don't have that reserve cable nearby, I just put another piece of cable. I introduce 2 joints, those ones. I install one this way. If I have the reserve cable, one of my mountains, I just pull the other one and I connect. So that. So it is not it is automatic. If you clean your core, there is a clean. When you click it, it will say you put the core. Up to when you accept this one and this. So it itself can control the access. Yes. So it is not matter of just coming choke the stress. It tells you breathe right. Breathe right. Plugging stuff. Put my cleaning script. see. Then I bring it. This one is the one giving angles of the machine to join. So if you don't have this one and you have the machine, you can't do it without this. So you bring your forward. You press it here. That's exactly so you just put it there. After chopping your machine, there you can see. So this is is also this is where the fight is. So we have different this one goes to SSC. From here, comes here. We don't use this one. No. So these patch codes, they are different. We have many types of patch codes. We have SSC. So when we are using this patch panel, we usually use SSC. For patch codes. After punching and after space, this is the SSC. This side should be SSC. From there, come and punch. Now media converter. This media converter is always powered. Then we have all Ethernet cable. And here, so this is yeah, some things, but they are now this is now all the version stuff. We no longer use it. We no longer use them. We use magnetics. The link, magnetics. It uses this with this stuff. Because the light from the back. And the other building This is the joint project. So on my side, when I'm installing a new client, we usually it depends on where the client is, where our client is. By the time we have an existing manual, right? So we have our line so this is the client who needs the service. It's not a lot of training from the common man, from my manhole. So when I bring my people, what am I going to do? Clients. Usually stuff. In the future, we can use all tools. It is not about putting. So when my fiber comes to the building, I need to I bring them. Printers, I have this is our so these cables this is a 2-way power cable. This is a 48 port. There are 12 ports. This is 48 ports. As you can see here, this is like first tube with 12 cords. So there are 4 tubes. Okay. 48. This one, the 2-core cable. This one, the 70 cable, having 6 tubes. 6 tubes can hold the cable. So this is the core. This core, we identify them for the color. Now we have blue that is our first core. Orange, second, blue, and blue. So this is our first core. The blue one, we have our second core, the orange one, the core, the green, that is long, that might be forward, what is today. 6, 8, 7, 8, 9, of course, it's colors. We call it colors also. So this is our 12 colors. So those are the 12 colors. So from there, we normally use color 1. We are making this color. The one, another one, according to our. So when you sit up here, you can see the one that is independent and one that is independent. So the 1 and 2, I have said, we generally use 1 and 2 in classification. We can't jump 1 and 2 and go to maybe 7 and 8. So we have so from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we have, do you have any question in the table identification? Yeah. These are the 6 and no 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Now from there, the one the cable internet and the but provided these are the batteries using this they are not like this, meaning you have to so if you are going to drain, everyone can have a look. The new model, the latest one, that you may find others having the small ones, the cheap ones, all fashions. So we have our we have our we get our we normally call them contents.
Good afternoon. My name is Zaro Baron. I'm the chair of IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Uganda. I would like to know the members of IEEE who are present here. Put up your hand. I give you some information if you're an IEEE member. Okay. You must be able to prove you're active, follow and meet Mr. Mayu. All active IEEE members who are present here, meet Mr. Mayu.
So now we get our details, we have got details, we strip them. We have that's this. You see that enough? That's the fiber. We can speak. This is our fiber. Next we need it's used to have the right angle because there is a bridge. This time, so we already have this. So this is the fiber from the cable. This is the pin. We have our the two fiber coils inside the now the fuse that is the machine is going to so here now you bring you get this this heat What normally happens is I forget to clean it. That's the machine. Of course, the machine will tell you it's just it works. You give me allowance. That's so it's something good. You can have this, just this, and this. So if you have this machine, you have to know. You have to know because it is the one that you are going to use to join the elements. You have to know. This is well, we need the in case I have my friend, maybe works so I need to remove my job. Maybe one, two of them. When the school is changing behavior, on this side, I have a slab cable, reserve cable. If I do, yeah, if I don't have the back cable, in that manner, what am I going to do? I'm going to lay another piece of cable. I introduce two joints. So two joints, I bring my cable. No, it's just protect the spliced cores. Yeah, because you can't splice that. You become the core. Someone will come and stay from it. So this just it is a close. During the cables, the space is moving, that's the way so this one is color of this is 48 jade closure. Is a significant jade closure, 92 jade closure, 154 jade closures. So this is it. And we are supposed to put this price on this if I have my connection, go by and the top is be a fiber cut. Or I will come in as a technician, have my equipment. I power it up. Then remember the outline space we do is to this touch point. Or so this is so this is C, touch. So if I want to use this, it's also use this as a C. So I will bring SSC. Simple science, simple psychology. You press, stop. Don't say, don't say. Then it will bring like, it's not final. And you have to, when I studying this final, now, like, they give me two actions. So when I have a cut, when I find my cut, what am I going to do? And it gives me 200 or 200 meters. 1.5 those 200 labor. Of course, if you don't know no, Google bypass is no. So you have where and it gives you 200 kilometers and actually expanding 200 kilometers. Then you have to go back to 200 kilometers. So you must